You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. This weekend, Virtuosi Concerts presents their latest mentorship concert program. Roots and Branches pairs established artists with budding performers, providing them the opportunity to learn, collaborate, and grow in a nurturing professional environment. This year's mentees are cellists Patricia Vanucci and soprano Cameron DeWar, working with mentors Everett Hopfner and Carrie DeWars. Joining me this morning are Patricia and Everett. Welcome to Classic 107.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
Well, Patricia, congrats on being named one of this year's mentees. You're originally from Sao Paulo, currently studying at the University of Manitoba with Dr. Mina Rose Chung. You're pursuing your second master's degree, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm curious about this because you come to us here in Winnipeg from the University of Southern Mississippi, where you got your first master's and an undergraduate degree in Brazil. You've got a lot of schooling under your belt.
Yeah.
What has this mentorship program been like for you?
This mentorship program for me, it means sort of a transition, I guess. Like, I'm finishing my second master's this semester. So I think that means a lot. Like, what we have been doing this week is intensive work, preparing a very beautiful repertoire, like in a short amount of time, which I think it is something that I'm going to do a lot in the professional life. And so it is really giving me a very good idea about what I'm going to meet in my future, like preparing fast and dealing with amazing musicians and working hard and preparing things like in the best way that I can with all the knowledge that I have gotten like throughout these years.
Do you feel like it sort of complements your schooling in a way? I mean, that's sort of what this program's designed for, right? That transition, that point where you're at, where you're going from schooling to working in a professional environment.
Yeah, I think that's totally true. Like, it is a very good moment for me, like to really even like have some liberty, like which I was talking with my mentors that it is probably the first time that I'm kind of able to work with a team that I'm giving my ideas also and helping with the building the repertoire for the program, and also like exchanging experience and not like just going through the academic, following like what like faculty and other like professors kind of tell you to do and that you need to do. So I feel very comfortable like in this program because I'm able to put all that knowledge that I have been gotten throughout the years and see if it is working or not, and like and I have the feedback from my mentors telling me that if it is good or not. So it's been very nice.
Yeah, like you say, it's not a master class, it's a mentorship,
it is
right?
A mentorship,
so you're working collaboratively, you're offering your own feedback and your own ideas. Everett, tell us about the mentorship component itself. How have you and fellow mentor Carrie DeWars been working with Patricia and Cameron?
It's been great, first of all, to start there. I think what Patricia's saying about kind of going beyond a receptive role where you're kind of doing what you're told towards a much more collaborative experience is really important. And, coming to rehearsals and being able to rehearse efficiently, being able to communicate your ideas in an effective way, and really having something to contribute to the sound, right? We all practice our own parts, but we come together as an ensemble and we have to find a way for all of us to speak together musically. And what's been really wonderful is that Cameron and Patricia are artists with a point of view. They come to rehearsals with ideas and with a lot of thought that's gone into their own preparation. And so when we do sit down to rehearse together, it's really about taking what we've all experienced in our own practice and finding a way to help it all come together. Aside from the rehearsal part of it, I think it's really important to be exposed to all of the logistics that go into organizing something like this. And we're fortunate in this case that Virtuosi is taking on a lot of the organization tasks, but a lot of us are building our own projects all the time. And things like booking rehearsal venues, getting programs printed. There's a lot of logistics that go into any of these productions. And I think it's been really important for Cameron and Patricia to see a little bit of how the sausage is made and to be actively involved in that role as well. It was really important to us that they contributed to the programming and offered their suggestions for repertoire, because in many ways it is their concert, it is their way to come out and introduce themselves to a new audience. And I think it's really important that they have this experience, not just to perform and to have that platform, but to really actively contribute to what the final product will look like.
I want to get to the program in just a bit, because it is a very fascinating program that you've crafted all together. But I'm curious, as a mentor, do you look back and reflect on your own experience and think how something like this might have benefited you in your career?
I had a lot of this kind of support through my training. I'm a product of a very small town, St. Rose in Manitoba, and so most of my life I was organizing my own projects already. But to see the training I had through my schooling as well, there was a lot of practical focus on presenting programs and projects. And my classmates and I at Brandon University, we were doing little tours all around rural Manitoba and building these programs and organizing a lot of these things. And we had a lot of mentorship ourselves to learn a lot about putting these things together, and how you act in public and how you interact with your audience is as important as what you present on stage, right?
Yeah, very, very well said. And I mean, yeah, that idea of outreach and going and curating your own concerts is something that you're well versed in. A BU alum, you went off to Stuttgart, you've now returned, you've got a studio in Brandon, you work at BU.
I used to. I'm a Winnipegger now.
Did I just not read the right bio here? This is great.
No, I just moved to Winnipeg over the summer. So
all right, well, welcome to Winnipeg.
Recent development, yes, thank you.
Well, welcome to Winnipeg. So let's chat about this group that's been put together here, because it's not like you, Everett, are mentoring a pianist, and Patricia, you're not working with a cellist. We've got this wonderful quartet going on. We've got soprano, violin, cello, and piano. That sounds to me like it's got a lot of opportunity to collaborate. Is that right, Patricia?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Can you tell us more about what that experience has been like?
For me, it is very interesting because we didn't know each other before. That's one of the things that I was a little bit scared at the beginning, because I have never played with Cameron or either with Everett and either Carrie. So I was a little bit worried about meeting them and how is it going to be together? Because it is not common to play with singer. I have done many operas and stuff. I do some work with the singers at U of M. But doing something like that, I think I have never done before, in this setting with in a very professional way, oh my God, it needs to be as good as possible, so. And collaborating with Cameron is amazing singer, amazing soprano. So I think everything is coming, I think, easily, even though we didn't know each other, but it seems that the chemistry, it is happening, and then we are helping each other. And with the mentors, with Carrie and Everett, they are helping us a lot and give you a lot of liberty as well, to express our ideas and also to be part of their music and then get it? I'm sorry.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. And I mean, Everett, as you listen to Patricia talk about her experience, how does it feel as a mentor to hear that you've sort of nurtured that and helped bring everybody together? As she was saying, walking into a room, it can be a little bit intimidating, right, when you don't know anybody. How does that feel to you to hear that it has indeed been this sort of nurturing experience as you've come together?
That's nice to hear, but I think that's what we all aim for as professionals. Yeah. We will do this a lot, where we end up coming together and putting concerts together on short notice, maybe with players we've never met before, right? And so coming into the rehearsal space with that open mind and with that willingness to try new things and to maybe take a different approach than you expected, I think is really important. In a rehearsal yesterday, or I guess it was Thursday now, we realized there was a very similar melodic line in the strings and in the vocal part. And just due to the nature of the different performance voices, they can't necessarily approach that melody from the exact same way in terms of phrasing, in terms of even tempo and how you might inflect the melody. And so coming to a point where a singer can sound more like a string instrument and a string instrument can sound more like a singer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of experimentation in that way. We try many different things to help the sound really match
Find that
in a way that
cohesion.
helps it all blend together. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of creativity to find those solutions.
If you're just tuning in, I'm chatting with Patricia Vanucci, a mentee, and Everett Hofner, a mentor in the Roots and Branches Mentorship Concert Program presented by Virtuosi Concerts. We've sort of been alluding to this the entire time, that the program, it is a very diverse one. It is one that also features a little bit of yourselves in the program. I mean, for those who took in the production of Liqueur, the groundbreaking opera presented by Manitoba Opera, it was one in which Cameron DeWar was featured, soprano, and she brings some of those songs to this program. Patricia, you bring a little bit of Brazil to Manitoba, right?
Yes, that's true. I brought Villa Lobos, which is a well-known composer, like is our like pride basically, and we love Villa Lobos. But I also wanted to bring someone new that people don't know about it, and which like we really like him, like in Brazil, who name is Marlos Nobre, who is from the northeast of Brazil. He's alive, so I thought that it would be interesting to bring like new music, someone that is alive, and also who brings like a lot of our ancestry, like and from like all the mixture that Brazil has. Like Brazil is a huge country with like so many mixture of like European culture, African culture, like Asian, like there are people from everywhere basically in Brazil. So I think it is very nice to bring this mixture.
Were there any pieces that were presented to you that were a sort of discovery through this process?
Like about the repertoire.
Yeah, in terms of the program, yeah.
For me, like the most important and that I'm very glad about like being part of it is the Liqueur, like the playing
the Alex Kosteruk, Neil Weisenthal work. Yeah.
I think like it is amazing to have like to get in touch with the indigenous like culture, and which I think we need to work much more like about it. Like in Brazil, we are passing like through a very hard time about like this discussion. And which I'm very happy in Canada that the country is trying to do something about it and work as hard as can, like to bring like everything that's possible to help and to bring their culture and like don't forget it. So, and I'm very happy for working with Cameron and learning a little bit more about Indigenous culture and. Getting to play this beautiful music because it is amazing, and
Everett, what about you? In terms of the program and how it's come together, any standout works for you, or ones that you're just so thrilled to be a part of?
All of them, frankly. I think the program's very well chosen, and I'm glad how it came together. I think it was really important to us that Cameron and Patricia had a chance to put their stamp on it. And so the Brazilian pieces that Patricia brought and the Métis works that Cameron has brought to this project are wonderful. Personally, I'm a huge fan of Lily Boulanger, so I was very excited that we found a way to program this piano trio of hers. I think she's such a treasure of a composer and left us far too young, but left behind such incredible repertoire. And the piano trio we're playing of hers is maybe one of the most depressing things I've ever heard, but it's beautiful and it's just been really fun to put together. There's just the really intense sound colors and, working through a very thick piano part, but then you hear what the strings bring to that texture, and it's just been fabulous to work on.
Just to run down the list, or sorry, Patricia, did you want to add anything?
Yes, just like for me, it is hard to really say like which piece I prefer about like the whole repertoire. It is like basically what we have been talking about, the diversity. Mm-hmm. So each composer in this program like brings something very unique for me. Like so, I hope that the audience can listen and see what we are trying to tell everybody, because the repertoire is so rich, and like we have like a duo, a violin and cello duo, and a trio, and then quartet, and it is so rich, and I think it's gonna be amazing. So yeah.
What more is there to say? It's going to be amazing. This Sunday, 2:30 p.m., Roots and Branches. It takes place at St. Andrew's United Church in River Heights. Just to run down the list, music of Andre Previn, aforementioned Lily Boulanger, selections from Liqueur, some writing of Jesse Montgomery, Ian Cuson, Heitor Villalobos, Marlos Nobre, and then concluding with music of Amy Beach. You're really running the gamut here. And like you say, a little bit of everybody represented in this program coming together. What a wonderful program it will be. Again, more details at virtuosiconcerts.ca or head online to classic107.com and click on the events tab. Patricia, Everett, thanks so much for being here today.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.